Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raiders Daily. My name is Jackson. I post daily Raiders content, so be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button if you guys enjoy it. I'm sure by the time a lot of you guys watch this video, Derek Carr will no longer be a Las Vegas Raider, and while you are losing out on that consistency, it puts Las Vegas, who they were already in the ninth best cap situation before, regardless of if Derek Carr, if he was going to come back and they were going to pay Derek, regardless, they were still a top 10 cap situation in the NFL, which is very good. And this move actually puts them, the release of Derek Carr actually puts them in the third spot, the third most team-friendly spot in the NFL, which to me is just music to my ears, because there's a lot of things going on right now. Aaron Rodgers is on his silent retreat. Tom Brady retired. The Super Bowl was 2 days ago, and football news is about to pick up. But I think that I love Derek. I really do. I don't even really want to speak too much about the exit because I'm not even going to even touch on it. We've talked about it for like a month. We've talked about it for months straight. I'm just glad, in a respectful way, Derek Carr is now no longer a Las Vegas Raider, because I have a feeling this team is going to be aggressive. All right, you don't trade for Davante Adams and just, tank. The Raiders will be a competitive, relevant team next season. It just comes down to really who's going to be the starting quarterback. Are they going to draft C.J. Stroud at number 7? Are they going to trade down, take a guy like Anthony Richardson? Are they going to pay Aaron Rodgers, or trade and pay Aaron Rodgers? Does Aaron Rodgers want to be a Raider? That's like the big time question. But what I'm even more excited about as well with that is just spending this money. I think the Raiders are in a good, aggressive standpoint, and the thing is, especially just the AFC in general, but we're gonna have another crazy year in the AFC West, and I want the Raiders to be competitive. I want them to be relevant in it. There's a bunch of holes that they could use some help on. The offensive line, specifically the offensive tackle position, the center position. Defensively, you have the defensive tackle spot. Safety area could use some work. The cornerback room could use some work. I would even argue that, a big-time linebacker signing is not that far-fetched. So I'm excited for I'm hoping there's just kind of like a vibe shift, just a culture shift with this Raiders team, because obviously nobody, whether you're a fan, a player, a coach, in management, it doesn't matter. If you're affiliated with the Las Vegas Raiders in any way, shape, or form, you're just not pleased about last year. You're not pleased about it. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen, because I think they're going to happen very soon. Free agency is I think it's actually less than a month away from now. We have the draft. It's not that far off. I'm excited. And I think that just kind of the Derek Carr situation, his brother wasn't helping. Josh McDaniels benched him. There was so much ambiguity going around, and Derek Carr didn't want to help out the Raiders, and it's like, oh, all right, well, that's fine. I don't need one draft pick. I get it. You don't want to help us out. That's fine, because we just saved $30 million, so it all works out. Now you're going to start seeing the rumblings, the rumors, because Derek is officially gone. You're going to start seeing it even more. Specifically Jacoby Brissett and Jimmy Garoppolo. And then, of course, we're going to continue to have the Aaron Rodgers debate. It's going to be a fun offseason. Last offseason to me it was the first year I started covering the Raiders, and it was around this time, actually, a little bit later. I think it was in April or March. But it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun covering this team in the offseason, and they've got money to play with. The third most friendly cap sitch in the NFL. There are going to be some question marks, is Jarrett Stidham going to be returning? I think Jarrett Stidham definitely will be returning, no matter who is, no matter if they draft a QB or take Aaron Rodgers, whatever it is. I actually would love Jarrett Stidham to be the backup quarterback, and depending on who we draft or depending on who we sign or whatever happens, Jarrett Stidham might have a decent shot if he gets re-signed at winning the camp battle, or at least being relevant in the camp battle. Josh Jacobs, this is a big question mark. I personally, my opinion has began to switch. It's began to sway. And as talented as a running back as Josh Jacobs is, he's probably the biggest free agent name on this Raiders offseason list, and it seems actually like the fans have been swaying a lot differently as well. All season it was pay Josh Jacobs, and now that we're seeing the price tag, it's like his market value calculation predictor is around $50 million for 4 seasons. It's like, well, at that rate, maybe we franchise tag him, which is about to be, $12.6 million. That's about $4 million more than the 5th year option would have cost. So that's unideal. But Josh Jacobs had a career year. If he was there's probably people saying he was the best running back in the league. So I did find that kind of interesting, how, myself included, I was all about paying Josh Jacobs all season long because he was like the most consistent guy we had with Davante Adams. But on offense. But now that I think about it, it's, there's a lot of talent in this year's draft class at the running back position. Like, a lot of talent. So it depends also on who the quarterback is. I don't really want to pay Josh Jacobs $50 million for 4 years. Running backs are extremely expendable, and you're one injury away from being like, well, that contract wasn't worth it. Now we're dragged into this. So there's a lot of talent in this class, man. There's a lot of it. We'll cover it continuously on this channel. So get ready for some draft content. But on the contrary, like if Aaron Rodgers comes back, if Aaron Rodgers comes over to the Raiders, I'm thinking, all right, yeah, bring Josh Jacobs back for the year. Jacobs even said he'd be willing to take a pay cut if Rodgers were to come. So it's like, yeah, let's just continue to make this offense as good as possible while also being able to invest money into your offensive line and your defense. But as we all can agree, a good quarterback, or I should say actually a great quarterback, makes your defense better. It's just as simple as that. Speaking of the defense, we talked mainly offense in today's video, but Rocky Sin is the other big question mark as far as Raiders free agency goes. He has a very similar calculation contract prediction. Those words in that sequence made sense. For Rocky Sin, 4 years, $44 million is the prediction for his market value. So he's been one of the best cornerbacks in the league recently. There's going to be a ton of teams for both Josh Jacobs and Rocky Sin. There's going to be a ton of teams interested in them. So I don't know, man. I'm just excited about this offseason, and I'm glad to get the Derek Carr situation gone. It's done. It's over. It's gone. Let's not even talk about it or think about it, really. I know everyone's not thrilled with Josh McDaniels and all that, but let's just go. Let's try to have a fresh start. Let's try to have a clean slate. Be optimistic for this offseason, and hopefully with the proper adjustments, get faster, get more athletic, get more explosive. This Raiders team should be fun next year. So hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll catch you guys later.